Good morning. I'm Reg Helwer, Minister of Central Services. We are gathered here on Treaty 1 territory, homeland of the Métis Nation. Welcome to Bill McDonald, Executive Vice President of Business Development for Xplornet, Jordan Young, Vice President, Business Development for Western Canada, Robbie Zederick, Vice President, Enterprise Solutions, Derek Radix, Manager, Government and Public Relations, Jamie Wilson, Consultant, Chief Clarence Easter of Shimawawin Cree Nation, Chris Ewan, Mayor for the Arima-Richaud. Thank you for joining us here today. Our government's policy has always been about protecting Manitobans and advancing opportunities for social and economic benefits throughout the province. Earlier this summer, we made the commitment to ensure that Manitobans have access to information and services no matter where they work or reside in Manitoba, and has become ever more critical. The pandemic has shown us that staying connected and having access to important and timely information is a necessity. As our way of life has changed during the course of the pandemic, access to virtual services like education, workplace, and health-based services has become our new reality in succeeding and staying connected. That is why today, we are pleased to announce that the Manitoba government has signed the contribution agreement with Xplornet Communications to provide reliable and sustainable broadband services to nearly 30 First Nations and over 350 rural and northern communities in the province. We're gathered here in a field. You can see this is when you don't see something here, that's kind of a good sign. If you see the cable that's underground, there's a problem because they're fixing it. So you want it to stay in the ground where we can use it and make use of it. The historic partnership will connect Manitoba to the world, giving unserved and underserved communities reliable telecommunications services. Over 125,000 rural, remote, and northern Manitoba homes will have new or improved modern broadband services and further future technologies for the next generations. Our government looks forward to working with Xplornet on our communities, as this collaboration will help close the gap between Manitobans and take the important steps to building connectivity across our province. I now welcome Bill McDonald to say a few words. Bill?
Got to get out the technology. Thank you, Minister Helwer, for your kind introduction. Good morning, Chief Easter, Mayor Ewan, and good morning to everybody. On behalf of everyone at Xplornet, I am proud to stand here today alongside Minister Helwer to announce that with the signing of the Rural Broadband Expansion Agreement, the RBE agreement as we call it, we are now on our way to connecting over 125,000 homes, businesses, and institutions across rural Manitoba to faster, more reliable, high-speed internet. As part of this project, we will be deploying a leading-edge broadband network that delivers blazing fast speeds, increased coverage, and improved reliability, as the Minister said, to nearly 350 rural communities and 30 First Nations communities. Whether logging on to work, school, or to connect with family, we are eager to make those connections for rural Manitobans. The province of Manitoba is a key focus for us. We are not only building a world-class network here, we are also establishing presence in the community. With our office in Brandon, home of the Enterprise Solutions Group, as well as acquiring companies that enable us to be stronger together and deliver on Manitobans' connectivity needs. With our recent acquisition of Swift High Speed in Steinbach, Xplornet has accelerated its broadband fiber expansion in southeast Manitoba. We are also in discussion with the province and the federal government to further enhance our RBE base network with significant fiber-to-the-home deployments across the province. As a next step to RBE, we will start community consultations with First Nations to initiate dialogue on connectivity and make sure that local residents' needs are heard. We have already started upgrading our network and looking forward to working with the province, Manitoba Hydro, and the First Nations to accelerate this activity. I would like to thank Minister Helwer and his office, as well as Manitoba Hydro, for their partnership and collaboration on this agreement. And finally, I'd like to commend them both on their creative approach to dealing with the digital divide challenge in Manitoba. You do not always have to bring money to solve a problem. Leveraging underused assets and creating solid partnerships can work wonders. We look forward to the work ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. I now invite Chief Easter to say a few words. Chief?
Thank you, Minister. Thank you, Spornet, Mayor. I'm still old school, hopefully getting into new school soon. My name is Clarence Easter. I'm the chief of the Chimauan Cree Nation. And to us, progress can only be achieved by building relationships. And this project is a good example of that. And first, we utilize our own funds to install our own fiber, with our partnership with RF Now. And then the province facilitated connecting the fiber. And now our relationship with Xplornet will take this project to the next level in building capacity in our community. I want to thank all those that are in this relationship with us. Thank you, RF Now. Thank you, Province of Manitoba. And thank you, Xplornet. And thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Good words. Now invite Mayor Ewan to say a few words. Mayor?
I just broke my mask. Thank you, everyone, for coming here to Richshot. Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Xplornet. And thank you very much, Province of Manitoba and Minister Helwer. Je veux te remercier tout le monde pour être ici aujourd'hui. C'est une annonce qui est vraiment importante, pas juste pour la municipalité de Richshot, mais pour toute la province, pour les Premières Nations, chaque personne qui a une industrie de commerce ici, for everyone that has a business, everyone that has a home here, not just for Richshot, but everywhere in the province, from the First Nations to the small municipalities around Manitoba, to have an opportunity to work with the province, for them to collaborate with us to find the right partnerships like Xplornet, to bring opportunities such as fiber optics. It's incredible, and I can't thank everyone enough for the hard work they put into it. So thank you again, Minister Helwer, for your hard work and for the province's hard work in finding the right group to work with. About 8 to 10 weeks ago, I had a meeting just down the street, actually, in Grand Point, and our councillor, Jeanine Boulanger, can attest that the internet's not great here. So I was with my AMM group as I sit as a vice president, and my meeting just dropped. It didn't work at all. So to be part of big meetings with cabinet ministers and wanting to see change and wanting to do great things for your municipality and great things for your province as an AMM vice president, and your meeting to drop like that is it's detrimental for government work. It's detrimental for businesses. And when we have fiber optics, we can make sure that all that stuff is done without those drops, without those slow down speeds. So again, thank you very much for coming. Welcome to Richshot, and I look forward to working with everyone that's a partner in this today.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you to everyone for being here for this great announcement. We're thrilled that we're, again, moving ahead with this. And if there's any questions, we can take questions. So I think the timeline we've been talking about is about 2.5 years, Bill, but Bill can speak better to where they're going next and what will happen. I know they have several groups that they're working with, as Chief Easter has spoken about as well. So there's lots of opportunity, and it's not going to happen overnight, but it will happen much quicker than we see in the past. Bill?
Yeah, those broad timelines are correct, and I mean we're starting already. We have at least 60 towers already lit up, and we're working with the province and with Hydro to get the fundamental backbone in place. That's the main thing that's going to take a little bit of time, is working with the province and Hydro to light up the backbone across the province. So it'll be two and a bit years to get things operational. But as I said, we're starting already with some of our wireless deployments, and then building into it with the backbone network. That's part of it. So backbone infrastructure, leveraging the Hydro, the unused Hydro telecom facilities, connecting to towers. But then also we will be using that fiber for fiber to the home also too. So it's a combination of technologies that will be used across the province. Starting in minimum 50 by 10. I mean that's a base across, and then we'll be increasing. On the wireless side up to over 100, and on the fiber side, when we get those operational, those will be gig type services.
Mr. Don, can you talk about the capital aggregation that will be required to undertake these projects?
Sure. I mean, the great thing, as I said in my comment with respect to the province's approach, is they brought assets to the table. That was their contribution, bringing the Hydro facilities. We're going to be contributing probably over $200 million of our own dollars, investing into the broadband rollout. So it is a significant investment for us. As I said, Manitoba is a very important market for us with our offices here and our deployment plan. So we look forward to accelerating and closing the gap in rural broadband here in Manitoba.
Will you talk about the partnerships that will be required or that are being imagined?
Well, the key one to start is the partnership with the province and Hydro. Hydro is a key player in this. You know, they have their unused assets, and then partners with our municipal and First Nations communities, because we think there's some great opportunities that need to get delved into in working with our First Nations. They've already invested in some of this, and now we need to step up and help close the gaps to assist them in some of their connectivity needs.
So you saying ExploreNet is prepared to invest $200 million over 2.5 years?
Mm-hmm.
Your partners will also have to make an investment.
They already have, yeah, and they are investing too, yeah.
What sort of order of magnitude?
Those will be community specifics, but right now our coverage will be as already covering the 350 communities and 30 First Nations. That doesn't require any additional investment, though that coverage is part of what we're delivering. There are opportunities for further expansion beyond that, but the 350 communities and the 30 First Nations that are part of our rollout are already covered through our investment. That doesn't require any additional investment. Chief Easter has some other specifics that he wants to do with his community, which I think is tremendous, and we are able to partner with them to do more.
Can I also ask, will ExploreNet partner with other internet service providers?
Yes, definitely. I mean, part of this whole program is to build out an infrastructure and backbone that is an open access backbone that other ISPs will be able to leverage. We're also working with the province and Hydro to look at the other underused assets with Hydro that could be leveraged for commercial services. So that's part of the next phases of our discussion too.
Can I also ask, the ISPs had been accessing National Hydro Telecom in the past.
Yeah.
Should they expect to see their fees or the charges that ExploreNet will charge? Will they be similar to what they've been paying for access in the past?
Yeah, no, we'll be looking at the standard commercial rates. As part of the signing, now that we have this agreement signed, we're now able to work with Manitoba Hydro Telecom to enable them to work on the backlog of orders that they have already from the ISPs, while we look at how best to leverage those Hydro assets in the future. So there's another stage of the dialogue going on, but we are working with Telecom to, as I said, work through their backlog of orders that the ISPs have. So that's going to be opening up in parallel with the RBE build out and the assessment of those assets for the future.
Mr. Heller, can this announcement taken so long to get to? I think it was some number of months ago that ExploreNet won the RFP. Yeah, well, here, maybe.
Sure. Thanks, Bill, for your comments. So good question. Things take time to negotiate, and working with the Manitoba Hydro and ExploreNet, the Minister of Crown Services, to make sure that we were doing things in the right way, that we didn't want to compromise anything that Manitoba Hydro does. We didn't want to compromise anything that ExploreNet was doing or the other ISPs are doing. We're very conscious that the assets remain with Manitoba Hydro. They are in the ground now and underutilized or not utilized at all. And we found, we think, with ExploreNet and the other ISPs, an opportunity to connect Manitobans. So we want to make sure that we got it right.
In the meantime, many ISPs had, were unable to sort of, continue on development work that they had. There was a stop sell work. Has that effectively been lifted or actually been lifted now?
So that's one thing that Bill referred to, that we are working with Hydro and Telecom on that aspect of it. We did have to work with some ISPs that wanted to change equipment, for instance, and early on Hydro's interpretation was that that couldn't be done, so we worked through some of those to upgrade some equipment. But in terms of expanding fiber usage, that was something that was not happening and that will continue now that we're working forward on this. There is no cost. The fiber has been installed as part of Hydro's plan to roll out to connect their various facilities, and it has been referred to as dark fiber. It's not lit. When you put it in the ground, there's a capacity you put in there for future. And we worked with Manitoba Hydro to determine what was being used, what may be used in the future for them, and what could be used to expand the broadband rollout to Manitobans. It's mainly the fiber backbone, but we're in discussions with ExploreNet and Hydro to see where else we can make use of things that are underutilized for Manitoba Hydro. But right now the focus is on broadband. Yep, sure.
You guys talked about 350 rural communities, 30 First Nations. Is there I don't know if you're providing a map, but who's included, who's not included? That's a lot of communities, but obviously it's not the entirety of the north, is it?
It's not the entire province. We're still working with other providers on further opportunities. We have some other opportunities to work with companies like Elon Musk's company and how they're doing with the satellite service. So all those opportunities exist for communities that aren't connected, and there's more to come yet, so just stay tuned.
Okay. Will you show us the geographical breadth of this map of 350, 30 First Nations? Can we see which ones?
We can talk to communications and get that. I think when we first announced this, there was a map that was provided, but we'll make sure you get that.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll do a quick picture, and then we'll let everybody warm up. Seems like a nice day, though.